Hi friends, welcome to TRENDRIDER channel supported by Hurringar.10. Today we are going to do the technical analysis for Mircelectronics. Mircelectr is the ticker name, and this is the monthly technical chart of the stock, and this is the historical price chart. Each candle here represents 1 month, and these are all the technical indicators and the respective graphs generated for the stock to do the technical analysis. Now, if you look at the historical price path pattern of the stock had been trying to make new highs, for since a long period of time, but unfortunately and inconsistently, the stock couldn't make it. Inconsistent effort by the stock. Actually, if you see from this point, March 2014, it started moving in upward direction, consistently making new highs, new high 1, new high 2, new high 3, but again it went down after the consolidation phase. The stock couldn't cross. Again, in the next high, the stock couldn't cross its previous high, okay, previous peak price, and it started trading low. And same, actually, it started facing the and again the next high is also lower than the previous high. Actually, it started going down, but we cannot say that. Why? Because the new low, it is not making new lows, whereas it is making new highs which are lower than the previous high, but the low is increasing. You see, I'm keeping the crosses here. This time the stock was trading at 7 rupees 75 paise, whereas here the stock is trading at 11 rupees 35 paise. So that is the bottom price that the stock has hit. Okay. Now after that, again in August 2017, that means recently, the stock started after August, September, October, November. This in the last 3 months, so this stock has zoomed up. Literally from 14 rupees to 14 rupees, yeah, literally from 13 rupees, huh? Yeah, 14 rupees to 41 rupees. So that is the gains, that is the profit that the stock has given to its investors. That's why that's good, but we are not if look from the stock from the long term perspective or the medium term perspective. No, the stock suddenly started moving in the upward direction. That is one thing to consider. To get feared, because small caps, whatever is their moment, even they are spiking up hundreds of rupees within a span of 1 month or 1.5 month. Though they get benefit, though they bring benefits to the investors, that is one case. But suddenly, like Nifty 50 stocks or something, we cannot take a long-term decision just by looking at the instant gains. Okay, I have to be very cautious when it comes to small caps. Actually, anything can happen. Anything can happen. So based on experience, I'm telling that once the capital gets locked up, then you cannot do anything. So most of my small cap related investment conclusions are all depend upon one rider, that is cautiousness. Okay, so if the stock is good, I say that the stock is average, and if the stock is very good, say the stock is good. So why? Because I'm just taking one step, coming back one step, and then taking a conclusion, that deciding that, okay, if the stock is good for long term, okay, we can go for medium term. If the stock is good for medium term, okay, we can go for short term. I'm taking that sort of step. Why? Because my experience taught me to do that way. Unless you do that, unless you you cannot control your expectations, and you cannot and once you start exciting, once you get into that excitement mode, because after seeing the gains of the positive gains, the positive movement of the stock, the spikes of the stock, then and if the stock suddenly, if something happens, something goes topsy, then the investor has to suffer. That means me, I have to suffer. So after burning my fingers for quite a long period of time, I had decided that when it comes to small caps, you have to be very very cautious. So even I am trying to, whenever I am making these videos, and whenever I'm whatever I'm telling here, as part of the education, I'm even here too, I'm making the same cautious decision. People may think that, okay, why not when the stock is zooming up, so is this not the better way? Is this not do we have to change our perspective? Because for the past few years the stock was not doing well, and suddenly the stock started doing well, so why not we consider this doing well period, and take a new perspective stock. Yes, you are true, but at the same time you are not, I mean, the decision won't work in a real time market. Why? Because as per the experience here, the what happens is like, the sudden boom, sudden rise, sudden this thing anywhere won't stay long. Okay, that particular point stays well, but at the same time, this rise, whatever we are seeing here, may get extended for a long period of time. That sort of thing is also there, and maybe this rise, what we are seeing here, is as an initial step. There is an initial step from the stock to go up to long lengths. So that sort of thing might also happen, but very rarely I mean, this kind of thing we are seeing. So the best thing in small cap, when you are dealing with small cap, is to be cautious. Okay, so in this talk also I'm going to give a cautious conclusion only. So so you guys have to what is it, tame down your expectations level, and then only you get interested in this talk. I mean, otherwise it is not possible. Okay, now coming to the technical analysis, this stock has already crossed its 20 and 50-day moving averages, and it is right now under the influence of positive super trend mode. Very good. Relative strength of the stock is up, and it is making a nice slope on top of the 80 line, and the angle at which it is making, it looks like the strength of the stock is peaking. I mean, it is going to be strong further. So that is a very good point, and direction strength of stock is also okay, and we are clearly seeing the direction strength is the moving up like this, and the positive and negative directional lines are diverging. That's a good point. And stochastics, both lines, you can clearly see both lines are playing near the top line. Very good. And the fast line is on top of the slow line, and you can clearly see the gap that they are maintaining between them, and that indicates the positive trend. I mean, that clearly indicates the strength of the positive trend that the stock is experiencing right now. Okay, now look at the momentum. Momentum is playing out of the baseline, and momentum is picking up, but momentum is at the initial level. I mean, it is not at the benchmark level. And if you look at the price volume, suddenly it started. You're seeing a spurt. You're seeing a spike in the price volume here. Okay, that's okay. And balance of power and elderly both are in sync with each other, and both are clearly telling us that the stock is in bullish phase. Good. Copy curve is clearly showing that the stock is in buy zone, and the curve is rising up. Okay, now all the guiding points are in the positive. I mean, throwing positive signs, except for the momentum, which is at the initial level, which we cannot. I mean, not at the benchmark level, and the remaining, except for the RSI, remaining all are at the somewhat playing below the benchmark. But other things, other than that, I'm not seeing any bad point or negative point related to the stock, Mircelectronics, at this moment. Okay, but still, I am not seeing a consistent price path pattern that helps the stock to move in the upward direction, because I am seeing a sudden spurt in the movement of the stock, in the path pattern of the stock, which I am not comfortable with. So I still think that the stock can be considered for short-term trading. You can easily get benefited because right now the trend is good, and it is always better to play cautious, as I already told you in my previous videos also too. So the stock is good for short-term investment. We'll come back to the stock later after a few days, and then if it based on its new movements, then we will redo the analysis and consider, and at that time we will analyze the stock from the medium and long-term perspectives. Okay, until then, the stock can be considered for short-term investment. It's good for short-term investment. You can definitely get benefited. As right now, based on the strength of the indicators, whatever guiding points indicators, whatever they're showing right now. So that is the conclusion, guys. If you like this analysis, please like this video and subscribe to this channel. Thank you.